your brother, your friend, your dietitian, back again for another installment in spirit, nutrition, back again with the Power of series, Power of Reading. Let's get it popping. Power of Reading series. First off, I want to say, give thanks to all the subscribers, give thanks to all the viewers. It means a lot to me, even if one person benefits from the video. I've done my part. One person benefits, one person views, and it contributes to their life and improving their self-development. I'm satisfied. So give thanks. Power of series. Number 2, Power of Reading. A reading pauper is a prince in waiting. Walter Mosley, the great African-American black novelist. Walter Mosley said that a reading impoverished man is a soon-to-be prince. A pauper is someone that is poor, living in penury, may not have proper education, may not have proper resources. Prince is royalty. With this metaphor, Walter Mosley is illustrating the power, the intense power, the immense power of reading. A reading pauper is a prince in waiting. Why does he say that? Because of the power of reading. Walter Mosley understood that your reality is a reflection of your mind. Your reality is a reflection of your mind. Therefore, if you change your consciousness, if you change your mind state, then your reality will change, baby. So it's like the law of as above, so below. The apple's not gonna fall too far from the tree. As within, so without. It's easy. It makes sense. Your mind determines your reality. In order to change the mind, you change the reading. The mind is the most useful and most powerful asset that human beings have. Because everything outside of the brain, the mind, and us being bipedal or bipedal, you can find in animals. The kidney, the heart, the lungs, right? The liver. But the mind, the consciousness, is what separates us from the animal kingdom. What we think about, we become. And you can change your thoughts by changing what you read. That's another reason why reading is so powerful. If you can change what you become, if you can change what you think, you can change what you can become. And if you change what you read, then you change what you think, and you can determine what you become. Another key jewel about the power of reading is that man lives not by bread alone, baby. It's stated that in one of the ancient books that man lives not by bread alone, but she also lives by word. You're nourished with words. Your mind, your soul is nourished with words. So the power of reading is that man gains inspiration, man gains insight, man gains empowerment and encouragement through reading. Just like the body is nourished with nutrients, in spirit nutrition, I'm giving the spirit nutrition via the YouTube. And by reading, you're giving the spirit nourishment and development, and the mind nourishment and development, the soul nourishment and development. That's the power of reading. Books as well are like a cheat code, because you can actually go into a public library, thanks to people like Andrew Carnegie, people that, started a lot of public libraries. Shout out to them, because a pauper, a poor child, in Los Angeles at least, and in most cities, major cities, they can catch the bus. They can go anywhere in the city to a public library with their library card, which is free, and they can read and gain access to the minds of all the authors in that library, the wisdom, the collective intelligence, the insight, the advice, the guidance of all those people in that library, in those books. You see, because you can learn from other people's experiences by reading. Someone from the ghetto, someone from the hood, someone from penury, someone from nothing can communicate, or not communicate with, but sit in counsel with, sit down and have a discussion with, sit down and have a meeting of the minds with Shakespeare, right? With Marcus Garvey, with all the business philosophers of our ancient times, of our modern times. Sit down with Buddha, sit down with Confucius. And by reading books, you can either get them free at the library, or you can go to a used bookstore or Amazon.com and get them for little to nothing. So it's a cheat code in life, because a book, a 200-page book, I learned this from Rick Ross, the original Rick Ross, the drug dealer from Los Angeles, big time drug dealer from Los Angeles. He said that books are amazing. He didn't learn how to read till he went to prison. But he said books are amazing because you could read a 200-page book that contains the collected and compiled wisdom of the last 20 years, and you could read it in a day. You could read it in a weekend. You could read it in a week. So now you're getting the information, the wisdom from this man or woman of 20 years, and you can apply it in your life. That's a cheat code. You get it for free from the library. Another point of the power of books, the power of reading, is that yes, you sit in counsel, you sit in discussion with the mind of the author, but you gain good ideas. You can obtain breakthrough ideas for marriage, breakthrough ideas for social media and YouTube and marketing, breakthrough ideas for health and nutrition, breakthrough ideas for business, how to get out of poverty. A boy in the ghetto, in poverty, he could read Robert Kiyosaki for free at the public library. He could learn about real estate for free in the library. He could learn another language, or the rudimentary and elementary parts of a language, for free in the public library by reading. That's the power. James Baldwin said because of reading, he was able to travel outside of the ghettos of Brooklyn or Harlem. I can't remember where he said he was from. But it allows the mind to travel beyond what the physical body can see and where the physical body is. That's the power of reading. So now you can go and travel and see alternate realities, different realities, how they're living in Brazil, how they're living in Beverly Hills, how they're living in Santa Monica, how they're living in New York. You can see the lifestyle of other people. It can expand your mind. Another thing about the power of reading is that you get great information. What is life? What is life without information? What is life without good ideas? It's like walking throughout life with no lights on. It's like walking into a room with a bunch of furniture, a bunch of hazards on the floor, and the lights are off, no guidance. You're bumping up against everything. You're stubbing your toe because you lack knowledge, you lack information. Reading allows for organized knowledge. Organized knowledge applied is power. People that told you that knowledge was power, they were mistaken. Organized knowledge, consistently applied, is power. Knowledge, or I should say reading, is the great equalizer, because a boy in Brazil, in the slums of Brazil, he could read Paulo Freire. He can read Karl Marx, if that's what he's into. He could read Shakespeare. He could read Adam Smith. He could read all the different philosophers, Buddha. And by doing that, it'll raise up his consciousness, and his reality will start reflecting his consciousness. A great power about reading is that you can read the biographies of people who come before you, who came from nothing, and they'll show you how to achieve bright success. With me, during my depression, during my trials and tribulations, my darkest hours, I used to go to the library and read Buddha. Buddha would sit with me. The prophets would sit with me. I was in DC. It was times in the summertime where I had no food. I was homeless. I was hungry. I had to stay with friends. I would walk throughout the libraries in DC, and I would sit down. I would read Confucius. I would read Buddha. I would read Sufism. I would read from the prophets, and those that the strength of their minds, their enlightened spiritual minds, helped me go through the pain, the suffering, the depression, the poverty. My mother having passed away 12 months prior, a year, 2 prior, seeing her body deteriorate from cancer, brain surgery, the cancer metastasized into her brain, her spinal cord. Seeing all these things, these traumatic things, having to bury her. Seeing my home bulldozed, $1 million home in West LA. What I did was sit in council, have a meeting of the minds via reading, and they elevated me enough to keep going. Do not underestimate the power of reading. Your brother, your friend, your dietitian, back again for another installment in spirit. Nutrition. Y'all thought we were playing out here, man. We ain't playing. Let's get it poppin'.